Daf Yerushalmi Challah in the article Oz V'Hadishon with Mamish at the top of Daf Yud Zayin Amud Aleph, beginning of the Gemara Perus Chutzlaretz, which in the Vilna is on Yud Amud Aleph, picking up right after the Mishnah. Perus Chutzlaretz. So, laid Yerushalmi on Masechta. Perus Chutzlaretz. Okay, so that's a quote from Mishnah. See, it says, "El Arz Hasheni Mi B'Eschem Shama." It says in the Bamido Tesla Yudches, when you come to land where I'm bringing you. So it says, "B'Va'achem L'Aretz." It sounds that only fruit of Eretz Yisrael is Chai B'Chala, and the word Shama is superfluous. Hasheni Mi B'Eschem. To tell us, and Eretz Yisrael, however, even fruit which comes from Chutzlaretz is Chayiv and Chala. Fruit of Chutzlaretz in Chutzlaretz is not Chayiv and Chala. So, Ksiva Eretz Hasheni Mi B'Eschem Shama, Shama Dem Chayavim. And Etem Chayim B'Chutzlaretz Chayiv and Eretz Yisrael not Chutzlaretz. Tani, we learned that Perus Chutzlaretz that come to Eretz Yisrael are Chayiv and Chala. Zudi V'Rei Meir. That's why Meir is speaking. Avo, who says this, let's see, free and shlach according to the Gerus of the Gra. Avo divrei Rabbi Yehuda, but according to Rabbi Yehuda, Perus Chutzlaretz shenichsu Aretz, for fruit of Chutzlaretz which came into Eretz Yisrael. According to Rabbi Yehuda's apparently Masorah, it's machlokes. Eliezer Poter, Eliezer says you're exempt, and Rabbi Akiva Mechayev, and Rabbi Akiva says you're Chayev, which of course is the language of our Mishnah. My time in Rabbi Eliezer, what's the rationale of Rabbi Eliezer, who says you're made potter on Perus Chutzlaretz, even the came to Eretz Yisrael, because it says the lechem ha'aretz. It's pasuk in Bamidbar Tez Vav. Also, you test the next pasuk actually. B'chochem mi lechem ha'aretz. Lechem ha'aretz. When it comes to tzlud, lechem Chutzlaretz, even it comes into Eretz Yisrael. My time Rabbi Akiva. What's the logic? Rabbi Akiva says you're chayiv. Because it says in the preceding passage, "Shani maybe Eschem Shama." When I'm bringing you there, that comes to include even Perus Chutzlaretz, which came there. Anything which is brought here or thither to Eretz Yisrael. Arz Hasheni Eschem Shama. Shama Dem Chayavim. There, not sure that's really the drasha. It sounds cute. So, but it's just it's more the extra word drasha, extra word Shama. Shama Atem Chayavim Ben Perus Aretz Ben Perus Chutzlaretz. Doesn't matter where the fruit start off. Once it's in Eretz Yisrael, of course, the Shaschiyuv is anyway when you're rolling the dough. So therefore, it's Chayiv. It's Chayiv even if it started off with Chutzlaretz. Ma'amachayim Rebbe's time Rabbi Akiva. What does it do with the pasuk on which Rabbi Akiva bases Shita? El Arz Hasheni Mi B'Eschem Shama. Chebrai b'shem Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Ba b'shem Rabbi Eliezer. Evidently, I'm going to explain it, but not yet. Or this is going on they're all being quoted about the next statement, but it's still not explained yet. Rabbi Eliezer b'shem Lakish. First we say Kach M'Shi Rabbi Akiva Rabbi Eliezer. First we say how Rabbi Akiva responds to Rabbi Eliezer. Eina Moizli b'Shashil Chutzlaretz u'Matzu K'machim. When they came to Eretz, they found the flour, and here it says slosos, but the Rash and the Rashi changes it to betsekos, to doughs. Shein chayovin bechala. Okay, it's interesting. Interesting change. It's even though it's and obviously they're in Eretz Yisrael at the time. Not sure where betsekos the and it's like Kamachim Slossos. I don't know why he changes it. I mean, Kamachim Slossos makes sense because the Shas Chiyuv then comes the Shas Gilgul Isra. But this already is a Batek, so it already became Batek before they entered Eretz Yisrael. So let's see. So anyway, Vlad Gilei Pturein, and did they not grow when they were Batek? Because they grew before Am Yisrael entered Eretz Yisrael. And yet they now they became Chayev. And the Eliezer accepted this response of Rabbi Akiva. So evidently he accepts at least this point of Shama to teach us that the flour and the fine flour, or the flour and the doughs that the Am Yisrael found when they entered Eretz Yisrael are Chaim Challah. So Amar Rabbi Eliezer said, I'm astounded. How does it work out? Rabbi Akiva rejected Rabbi Eliezer, and yet and yet Rabbi Eliezer accepted this repudiation. Why would he? So he said there's a very easy distinction to be made. Taman Achlon Rasu, there before they entered Eretz Yisrael, Lemafreya Yoshu. They already had they retroactively really took over Eretz Yisrael. Then Rabbi B'Shem Rabbi Shmuel Bar Nachman, L'Zarcha Ein Ksiv. It doesn't say to your progeny I will give this land. L'Zarcha Nasati. It says that to your progeny I already gave land, and this is being said to the in Bereshit Tezvav Yuches to Avraham Avinu, and if I recall correctly, and it's being said. So it says that it's kind of like what the Bible says. That there was a chiyuv which is dormant. So it's from the time the dough was waiting for Am Yisrael to actually fulfill the taking over and instituting the chazaka from the time of the Avos, and then you could say that any dough which was, I guess even dough, if you change gears to the B'zeikos, but certainly flour and fine flour, comes Chayv and Challah. Again, okay, so now the Gemara says, what does the Akiva do with the large Rabbi Eliezer? So he says, Lechem Oretz B'Sfina Shenichas Oretz. He learns out that if you bake bread from Peres Chutzorets in a boat which entered Tzos Chaim Challah, you needed bread, not just you baked it. Baked is not usually the blade of Shalom, but I think as many as you needed bread. It's Chaim Challah, because since the bread was made in Eretz Yisrael, it's considered to be part and parcel of Eretz Yisrael. That's how we learn the pasuk. Lechem Oretz is B'Sfina Shenichas. So in Kidmu Panel, now it depends. In Kidmu Panel Minachud Livnim. The Tosefta says that when you look at the Mediterranean Sea, so the islands in the area where if you drew a thread from Hor HaHor, which I think flying the desert, so you see quite distinctly, from Hor HaHor to Nacham Mitzrayim, those islands which would be inside that area, that section, Turi Amnon, they call it, right? Turi Amnon. And for Chumash it's called Hor HaHor, and Chazal called Turi Amnon. And you draw the lines, the islands outside the line, the lines inside the lines are inside the line are Eretz Yisrael. So if a crust forms on the bread, which is being baked, when the boat is already for inside that imaginary line, it's considered to be chalas or lechem oretz, and yichayim challah. And evidently, it's also retroactively from the time it was dough. But if the bread was already fully formed when the boat was still outside that boundary line, then it's patim challah because it's lechem chutz laretz. So so again, im kima panam min achut livnim. Chayav is Chayav Mechal. The Chutz Patur. Al Daita Rabbi Akiva. Now, according to Rabbi Akiva, he's Svina. So the same thing is true about a boat. He Isas Hagoy. Also, the dough of a non-Jew. Achnasasan. If you bring it in, and that's now why we're going to say well the Rash and the rest really are changing to Besekos, because Rabbi Akiva goes by Karmo Paneh B'Tanur. Interesting, right? So therefore. In current panem, same thing by Isa Sagoy. He says this verse he is Sagoy. He achna sasan Kol halech achar krima batanur. The same is true when it comes in a boat. When it comes through a goy, right? And Korban Paneh beyond Yisrael is going to be Chayiv. And when Am Yisrael came to Yisrael and they found the flour and the dough of the non-Jews, it depends if they were baked and the crust formed and so going that's for the challah. But if before the crust is going to bake by the Jew, so then it is chayav in challah. And the Kiva obviously goes that the shas chalei schiyuv, at least indicative of the shas chalei schiyuv, even everything works in Mafreya as well, is when korban paneh batanur. Moicha Rebbe Kiva, Chacham agreed to Kiva that in limited way. B'achnasa son la'aretz, shachol lechagrim k'tanur. When they entered soil, even but by other cases, they hold it goes by the Gilgul Isa, by when you roll the dough, not by the Krima Seim Batanur. When they entered soil, they found the flour and the dough of the non-Jews. There, they followed Krimas Panim Batanur, whether it was when the crust took place. So the Gemara now concludes, Min Mad Rabbi Kiva Mace Rabbi Lezer Mekabel. Since Rabbi Kiva responded to Lezer from the flour dough of non-Jews when they entered Eretz Yisrael, has to come up in tanur in the hands of Yisrael. It's Chayav L'Challah, and Rabbi Lezer accepted this. And nevertheless, Peres Chutz La'aretz, which were baked in Eretz Yisrael, are putted from Challah. So it must be that he holds that specifically in terms of their entering Eretz Yisrael, he considers Rabbi Kiva. That goes by Krimas Paneh Tanur and not by other parameters of the Chiyuv Challah. And then this is Eretz Yisrael Muzekes Lamei Avosenu helps specifically for Hachnosa Son La'aretz. That's the point that the dough itself can be chayav, even if the gilgul was a de'akum, as long as the krimas panim with the finishing touch was done by a Yisrael, and that won't hold that way by the other definitions of chiyuv challah, because those have to do with the rolling of the dough, because there's no affinity which exists between the dough and the Yisrael who's chayav on account of Muzekes Lamei Avosenu. But that requires more analysis, which I'm not going to get into right now. Okay, the Gemara says, Rabbi Yonah Boikum Rabbi Yirmiyah. Rabbi Yonah asked in front of Yirmiyah, B'shashan Dusul Yisrael Aretz. Am Yisrael and Eretz Yisrael. Matzah Kama Lacha. And they found moist harvested grain. Ma'u Shedeh Chasur Michad Mishum Chadash. Is us on account of Chadash or not? Since there was no Omer the Midbar, obviously it would be, she seemed to be Osir. And there's no Omer to be Matrik. I say cut grain. What's a kamalacha moist grain growing in the fields? They said Lamala. He said, why not? So ad kedun lacha. Okay, that's why moist grain. I feel avesha. Why? What about dry? You said, I feel avesha be the It doesn't make a difference. Yeah, they're all going to be also on account of Chadash and Yasher. So it says more about if you chitim baliyah. If that's the case, that even grain they found in second floor storehouse should be also comes to Yasher. So I say lo yachlu yisrael matzah b'lei Pesach. And if that's the case, how could they ever eat kazayis and matzah that night Pesach, since all of it was also on account of Chadash? Rabbi Yonah says, nafkus tahisa lo amarle. When Rabbi Yonah said, Rabbi Yonah left, I mean the nafkus, when he left tahisi, I was astonished myself that I had remorse that I didn't ask him about the mitzvah say of Rav Dechel Matzos pushing off the Los Aseh Chodesh. Nafkus Toys, I was telling the law, they didn't say him. Shani, Jamisas, say, Dachel, Mrs. Los, I say. Al Daite Rabbi Yonah, the Omar, Mitzvah say, Dachel, Belos, I say. And they push up the Los, I say, Ava Bisharik, so Betzida, even though it's not written next to it, Nicha. That's not a good question. Al Daite, the Rabbi Yosef, the Omar, a Mitzvah say, Dachel, Mrs. Los, I say, Ellen can't so Betzida. Very novel idea. Only to I say Dachel, I say, only if they're written in juxtaposition. So according to this, Mao she tagore agoyim mochrim lohem. Yeah. So the no, actually I read that wrong. So I didn't read it. Well, anyway, so there's an implied question. Plus the question is how they eat the. If you say dogalos, I say saksu besida, I understand how they eat. But when Rabbi says I say it's only dogalos, it's called besida, how they have matzah that night. So it's the first night pays out. So when it says mashu tagorim goyim tagorim goyim mochim, but non-Jewish merchants would sell to them from chutzlarts before they entered Eretz Yisrael. On the way in, they bought grain from chutzlarts in order to make their matzahs. Uk Rabbi Yishmael, like it's Rabbi Yishmael. Rabbi Yishmael, Amar Kobitz Rishon B'Torah Achar Arba'as Yishanim Nemu Shemesh Chibur Shchol. This is another answer, separate answer. It says it also works out according to Rabbi Yishmael. So Yishmael didn't become Chayav B'Chal until after the they didn't become Chayav in Mitzvah Tluyas Ba'aretz until after the 14 years that they 7 they conquered and 7 that they divided. So there's no there was no Isser Chodesh during those 14 years, and I don't think there's much on the Bavli, and therefore they were able to eat from the they make the matzah of the night of Pesach, even though it was before the Korban already brought, because the mitzvah, this mitzvah Kli Baretz only came into effect in the 14th year, after 14 years. I think that brings us to the Tzir Chesam out, so stop it there.